Hey guys, welcome to episode 32 of the Chan's Logic podcast. We're sitting here in the airport, which is always...
It's an okay airport.
Yeah, it's Chicago. I wouldn't say it's the best one or my favorite.
No.
But anyway, we wanted to get something done, and more often than not, you're not in the ideal place when we aren't. We don't have a cool studio or anything fun like Sprout Social did, but we can sit in the airport and use a little mic I have on my phone and this lapel mic Steph has on, and we can use that to record audio and to actually get a pretty decent thing going on. Podcast, yeah.
Today.
And with audio that's not terrible, because all the fuzz you hear I can just reduce and get rid of when you're listening to this.
Yeah, not on live.
Yeah. So anyway, we have a 10 p.m. flight to get from Chicago to San Francisco, and then we're going to spend a week down with some Infusionsoft partners, or actually a day on Tuesday talking to them about what we're doing. Monday. I don't know what I'm doing. She booked my travel.
Yeah.
If I had a travel agent, it would be Steph.
Yep.
She's good at it.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. Good at travel, not so good at...
At what?
I guess she's good at everything. She had nothing to say immediately. So we just wanted to talk about what we did down there. Everybody's probably wondering. I tried to go live at least once a day to talk about what the day was like and what we were doing or my thoughts on the day. And we basically went down there. We got invited for a new partner program they're building out. They really wanted to build more of a mutualistic thing with a lot of their agencies they work with. And if you don't know, we own Out of the Cave Media, which is a big relationship-focused agency and an agency that wants to build a culture of caring in as many people as possible. And so they invited us down there because we have the potential to be invested in there, and we already are, and to help them build the program and help them understand what businesses need from our perspective and what we need. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was really cool, though, and what I really like and what I'm big about and big on is culture in the workplace, and the idea that you take care of your employees and they feel wanted, they feel special, your customers feel wanted, they feel special, and we ultimately build that culture of caring in the businesses that we serve, the employees that we have, and we have empathy in our leadership. And they really displayed that at Sprout, and I thought that was
awesome.
Really cool. Yeah.
It was almost like probably working at Google. There was snacks. There was cold brew coffee on tap. Oh, there was a kombucha on tap. I mean, they had everything, and it was cool how it was set up. I mean, they literally had like a little lounge that was, it had a ping pong table, a pool table, arcade, like video games, dartboard, but it's just space that, as long as people are getting their work done, they can take a break and go like, relax for a second or, decompress if they're, busy that day or whatever. But they had a nap room. They had beanbag chairs. I mean, it was awesome. And then all of their, Chan.
I made it right.
Killed that. All of their little office rooms are, some were office rooms, but for the most part, some of them were, comfortable. Like they had couches. We got to go in the cool sauna room yesterday. It was like wood and everything around it, but they definitely make an effort to really take care of their people. And I mean, I would sleep there.
Yeah, the nap room was great.
Awesome.
They had giant bean bags. When you walk in, they have everything like toothbrushes and all kinds of stuff in the bathrooms. But what I found was it was this open, collaborative workspace, and everybody there was super friendly. We obviously don't work there, but we spent a week there, and everybody
We spent 3 days there.
Yeah, that's a week to me. Yeah, Monday through Thursday.
Almost a work week.
Yeah. So we were there hanging out. We told them we were going to be there for a little bit longer because we wanted to do a lot of collaboration there. And they gave us an entire office that we worked with. Like Steph was saying, they gave us the really cool Viking room. I think it was called Vivekanata or something.
Yeah, something like that.
But we were able to work there. They came in and checked on us a bunch of times, and everybody we ran into and talked to in the actual space said hi and was super friendly. There was like a food service guy that I became best friends with over the whole course of the days. He was asking me about local breweries and stuff.
He was like, I don't even live here.
I was like, I don't live here, but I'll pretend like I know stuff because you're amazing. So when you see that kind of culture where people are happy and excited and they just seem like it's not that bad to be there, that's when you know you've built something right, and that's when you know the leadership is doing something right, and that's when you know they're going to be willing to do what it takes to actually grow the business. They're going to show up and be happy. And as an extension, what we see from that, because we do a lot of consulting with a lot of businesses in different industries, is you end up with a more productive workforce because they're willing to put in the hours, they're willing to put in the time, and they're willing to put in the effort to make something work because ultimately they believe in it.
Right.
So if you're a leader out there, I got it right out of Steph.
Keep going.
So ultimately what you want to do is, if you're a leader in an organization, you have to take into account the fact that your culture is so important, and how happy your employees are is even more important. And what that does is it directly represents what your customers are going to think and feel, because they're going to see what the employees do and they're going to interact with the employees. And so if you have a happy workforce, you're going to end up with happy customers. And back in the day when it was a brand-centric environment or a brand-centric economy, it was all about how can I save money? How can I outsource everything we do somewhere else so it costs significantly less to do it? But then what that did was it created a culture of consumers and customers and employees who hate the businesses they have to go service and the businesses they have to work with, and it created this environment where the public became, I guess, mad at businesses. And if you were in business, you were automatically evil, an evil money-grubbing empire and stuff like that. And some companies, are, especially the big ones, some of them are still like that and working hard to transition away. But then you find these smaller, especially in the startup realm, like companies like Sprout and Google and all these tech companies, I guess, are instituting a lot of these policies where they essentially take care of their workforce and they go out of their way to make sure everybody's happy and living the dream.
Right. And it's cool to see too, because you see these kind of companies and they are startup tech, and like, I mean, there was a pretty good mix of, you know, older and majority, I mean, mostly younger people. And some of those people there, I was like, that kid is like 12 years old. There's no way he's old enough to be working here. But, you know, it's a lot of younger people, and they're motivated to work for big companies like this because they do take care of them. You know. Yeah. That's awesome to see.
It's huge, and I think that's a huge disconnect we see in the older generation not taking millennials seriously. They don't understand how much millennials, the horrifying economy they grew up in, thanks baby boomers, and where they are now, they just want to be happy in their workplace. They do eventually want to own homes, and they want to eat healthy and be happy, and it's part of them understanding that it's a culture and a new wave where people actually care how they feel in the workplace, and they want that to be a happy place. And millennials are in a position to where they're used to having this horrifying economy where they have to jump ship all the time. So jumping ship is a normal thing. But if they feel, are you okay?
I'm real tired.
Steph just yawned. But if they feel like it's a good workplace, they have the culture that they enjoy, they're going to stick with there as long as possible, or until some recruiter offers them something better at a nicer tech company.
Right. Yeah. Because they do that. They'll steal them.
They will, and that's what's important. So if you're a millennial hater, just take that into account. You don't understand the generational gaps in the culture and what these people really want and what they believe in and what they're doing. What do you think, Steph?
I think that's true.
So this whole thing fundamentally comes down to the fact that you need to embrace culture and take culture as a serious thing. You need to make sure that people are happy. This also stems into empathy and leadership. What are your employees saying? What are your customers saying? Are they happy? Are they not happy? Why or why not? How can we fix it? We're going to take whatever you say seriously and not just say, oh, they just don't know. We need to educate them. They don't understand. You need to say, no, this is a comment. This is probably something other people are thinking. So how do we objectively analyze this? Look at what the pieces are that they didn't like or that they do like, and either fix them or make them better. Or how do we send out a survey or talk to 17 other people who are thinking the same thing and ask them the questions. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? And then we start to learn and understand a general feel. And if you keep it anonymous, people are more willing to share things like that. And I think one of the ways you get people to actually fill out surveys and all those things is just give them an Amazon gift card. Steph?
I did 2 surveys on a platform software that we use. In, I don't know, like 24 hours, I kept getting offers for some reason for this one. I got a $35 Amazon card for doing those 2.
Yeah.
So, and one took me maybe 20 minutes and the other one took me like 5 minutes. And I was like, totally worth it. $35.
It's exciting.
I can buy my boots now.
So it essentially comes, if you want people to do something to help you, you have to give them something to say thank you. which is huge.
Yeah.
A lot of companies do drawings, and then the general sense of the consumer when they see a drawing is, I'll never win that, delete,
Right,
gone,
exactly.
out.
For like even a $10 Amazon card, even 5 people would still use, because it's not like, because now that you can like send them, an e-card kind of thing. I mean, $5 is easy, and then they want to get something that's easy to use. But yeah, but a $10 one, I mean, like, that's great for 5 minutes of my time. Sure, I'll do that.
Yeah, because you're
Yeah.
giving something in response for saying thank you for doing something that's essentially going to help you grow
Right.
and become better in the long run.
Yeah.
So think about that kind of stuff. The most important things in your business are going to be, especially when you're growing or you're trying to expand or you're trying to figure out why your employees aren't happy or your customers. It's essentially, do you hear that ringing?
I do. It's real bad.
So essentially it all comes down to those things. Culture, how well is the culture? Are people happy? Are they not happy? What's going on? And then from that, you can make decisions and ideas around how you make it better if it's bad, or how you improve it if it's already good. And those are the key pieces to making businesses successful, and not just successful, but the longevity of the business with people successful. Because people are what make it possible.
Huh, you sound like an infomercial.
I know. What infomercial does that come
I
from?
don't know. Just the way you said it.
Yeah. People make it possible.
Or like the more you know
Yeah.
jingle. That's
more
what that
you know.
sounds like. Anyways.
So we just wanted to recap this. Sprout took really good care of us down there.
They were
When we
awesome.
left, they actually thought we worked there because we were there so long.
Yeah.
I think we parked ourselves there on Wednesday from about 9 a.m. until 7 p.m.
Just about, yeah.
And one other thing, I didn't leave the building because there were snacks and cold brew there. And I would work and I'd go grab something real quick, grab some cold brew, come back and keep working. And just think about that for productivity. Your employees have to leave, they have to come back, they have to go find stuff. Whereas if you provide them with the things they need there,
Right.
yeah, it might cost you more money right there, but you're going to save a lot more money in the productivity and efficiency increases you get just from keeping your employees productive and keeping them moving.
And Amazon and Uber Eats now delivering food. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Lunchtime we'd go in the snack room, and then there's like lines of like food that got delivered with people's names on them and stuff. So there's that too now.
Which was pretty exciting. That ringing finally stopped. That was the
I know.
longest ringing I've ever heard in my entire life. It was like a soccer game where they go, go.
But with a ring.
But with a ring.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
You don't know me.
All right.
So here's what you can do to make yourself better in your business after watching this. Just go and look at what people are saying about you. Do a little Facebook search for your gym name. Ask all of your employees in an anonymous survey what they think. Do not ask them. You can ask them outwardly, but they're probably not going to tell you. And if they do say something, you need to ask them why at least 3 times. Because 3 whys is going to get to the pain and to the real reasons. Then you need to poll your customers and ask your customers. Ask them individually. Give them surveys. Offer them something. If your staff does something for you, you need to give them something in return. Are you yawning again?
Yes.
But just remember, if you're the leader, you always need to give more than you ask for. That's the key. Always be willing to put in the extra effort to make sure everyone's happy and in a good place, and you're going to gain people who will follow your leadership forever, or at least until the end of time. Which one's first, forever or the end of time?
I don't know.
The world may never know. I mean, we won't. We'll be dead by then.
I'm getting frozen.
Cremated. I
No.
think that's a good plan. I want to get,
Cremated.
cryogenically frozen.
Yes. And then come back in 100 years.
Yeah, they'll rethaw you and you'll be like, oh God, look what happened. The whole world's awesome.
Yeah, and then I'll be like, oh, never mind. Put me back in there.
It was nice. So anyway, Steph, do you have anything else to say?
No, I think I talked more than normal.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So we got Silicon Valley coming up, and on Tuesday we'll do a big talk on. I'm going to.
Monday, we'll do a talk.
Oh yeah, on Monday. Gosh, I don't even know that's why I have Steph. I don't know my own
Driving
schedule.
home on Tuesday.
She does all this stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm going to do a talk. I'm going to record it, probably just audio, because they don't like video recorded when they do these things, because it's really for just their partners. So if you pay attention to the podcast, hopefully on Wednesday I can get the audio from what we talk about recorded. The biggest piece from these talks that I do, I think, that I get the most value of, and I think other people do, is the questions. The Q&A is huge, because if one person's asking it, chances are everybody's asking it. And more often than not, too, I find that marketers don't necessarily do what they're telling you to do. So when we talk in front of marketers, it's always an interesting experience because what we do, the relationship-based stuff that I talk about, really just blows people away. It's kind of cool.
Oh.
So hopefully you guys like this episode. If you have questions, as always, post them in the comments.
Yep.
If you are listening to this, just shoot me an email, chandler@stoneagefuel.com.
Oh my.
And I'll answer your emails. Or just go to Chanslodge, facebook.com/Chanslodge and message me.
Oh my gosh.
That's my favorite. I like to do that. All right. See ya.
Bye.
Say bye, Steph.
I did.
Say it again.
Bye.
That was better. Bye.